nothing that's really jumped out because I have them all and I've had them all for years, and I've seen them all countless times. But they'll figure it out. They'll figure out the next best thing. This week is going to be ECW week. If you tune in after Monday Night Raw, there's going to be a 1 hour Q&A. Basically, where fans are going to be tweeting in and emailing questions to Paul Heyman and Joey Styles, and they're going to talk all about their time in ECW. I'm hoping that these questions are. I want them to be filtered, but I don't want them to be too filtered. I want to hear some stories that basically we've never seen before. I think Paul Heyman is a guy who knows if he's on live TV, he can take some chances. The question is whether he wants to take these chances. Paul Heyman's a guy who's always going to have a place in WWE as long as Brock Lesnar is there. I think Brock is the only reason why Paul came back to be a part of there. And, of course, then he had the run with CM Punk, and he's done some other things along the way. Of course, with Cesaro and Ryback. But he probably knows that, with all things pointing towards basically at WWE, at WrestleMania this year, Brock Lesnar is going to be walking away. Maybe he'll be going back to UFC. Basically, he knows that they need him for this run, and then once that's done, they might not need him anymore. Maybe they'll call him for an ECW documentary if they do ECW Volume 3 or something like that. But I don't know if what they're going to need him for on Monday Night Raw television. I think that he's got enough companies, as you figured out from watching the Paul Heyman documentary by now, that basically he can live his life away from being involved in wrestling. I think he likes getting the check. He likes building onto the legacy that's there. Basically what I'm getting to is I'm hoping that Paul Heyman will take some chances with these questions, knowing he's on live TV. They could bleep him. But are they really going to bleep his whole story if he tells the story of maybe Sandman dying on the way to the show that Tommy Dreamer told on the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast? Basically, with I think it was Raven showing up saying that Sandman was dead, only for him to come back to life, or something like that. I don't think Paul cares about ECW the way a lot of other people care about it. I think that he'll talk about it in great detail, putting it over, at the same time putting himself over. But I don't think he's at the point where he's not going to tell stories that the fans want to see. I think he is a person who definitely connects with them because that's how he started out. From watching the Paul Heyman documentary, you can see that he he started out as a fan who wanted to get all access, so he sort of pushed his way in as a photographer, getting connections with Vince McMahon Sr., building that up to meeting Dusty Rhodes when he went down and took pictures of a center stage show that Dusty Rhodes was in charge of. He actually just went and sat down in the booking room and said that he wanted to learn from Dusty Rhodes. Just small stories that you pick up from the Paul Heyman documentary if you haven't seen it yet. But that's what I'm hoping for. I think Joey Styles is the guy who holds on to his job with the .com very tightly. I don't think that his stories will push the envelope, and maybe he's there to try and swing Paul Heyman away from telling a story like that. But that's what I'm looking forward to. There's always things that could be good in the foreseeable future with the WWE Network, and that's what I'm holding on to.